Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Pressure Points podcast. I am your host, Connor Ford. Sitting in front of me is Ryan Kennedy, and our good friend Jacob Seaman has unfortunately passed away. He was maimed to death by a pit bull. We wish his family well. But anyways, Font versus Vera was pretty sick last week.
Yeah, it was a great. Actually, I do want to say Font versus Vera was a great fight. Obviously, shout out to Font's face.
Yeah.
Went through some beatings yesterday.
Dude, I guess it's just a thing that people that face Cheeto just get the fucked up looking faces.
Yeah, and until he faces Aldo. Ooh. But then he'll go and, talk shit about Aldo, even though he just lost to him.
Yeah, no. Yeah. Fuck that. He couldn't hang with Aldo.
No.
Aldo's
you know what's also crazy is he's been kind of calling out Cruz a little bit, and this might be a hot take, but I totally have Cruz over Vera in that matchup.
Cruz is weird to sort of like gate because he's like an old man.
Yeah, but he's also got that weird stance, and I think literally his stance and the way he flows completely fucks up Vera's whole thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'd have to see it play out.
For sure.
The thing is, Vera could just be way faster and younger and stronger.
True,
so it's
that's
just
true.
It's just kind of weird. Dom's in a really weird position in his career right now.
Yeah, he is weird because he's been doing all right, but he's
still good, but he's got mileage, but also doesn't because he was out for so long. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I'll also say his last fight, I can't remember who he fought, but he definitely showed like he got fucking tanked in the face and he ate it. Well, he didn't eat it, but like. Well, I guess you eat it if you survive. So yeah,
sure.
He ate the shot and still won the fight, in Cruz fashion, just dollying him up with a bunch of fucking.
Talk about pillow fists,
dude. He is the Colby Covington of the bantamweight division.
Yeah, that's what everyone's always known him as.
Yeah, for sure. He's Colby Covington of the bantamweight division.
Have we had any news this week? I feel like it's been kind of quiet, other than the big card coming up.
I do want to talk about the Darren Till Hermanson fight.
Of course, we're big Till guys.
Obviously, anyone who's a MMA fan is a Till. Well, that's not true.
That's not true.
Lame MMA fans aren't Darren Till fans, but. Pretty much all cool MMA fans are Darren Till fans.
I love Darren Till.
I will say I'm not a huge fan of the matchup, but it's a great way to test if all his training down in Sweden with Hamzat is paid off or anything. So we'll definitely see how that goes, and I'm just excited to see Darren Till back after this weird, hype job they've been really promoting with him and Hamzat. We can just really see if this has really actually helped or if it's just the same kind of problems. If he comes back in and he's fucking fat as shit again, I'm gonna be hella annoyed.
Well, Till's also got a really funny career because he was thrown to the wolves pretty quickly. He faced Woodley when Woodley was Woodley.
Yeah.
I mean, really, that was kind of last peak Woodley that we saw. And then he was fighting Wonder Boy, beats Wonder Boy, and then kind of just has a weird.
I will say. Beats Wonder Boy.
whatever.
Trash fight, obviously.
The Wonder Boy fight was good.
I was not a fan.
And then he moves up to middleweight. Has a fucking very close fight with Robert Whitaker. With Robert Whitaker
first.
I don't remember.
He beat Gastelum.
But either way,
yeah, he had a close fight with Whitaker.
Dude, the Whitaker fight was crazy close because he dropped. He dropped Whitaker.
I think the drop wasn't really damaging, but yeah, it was definitely a drop. He competed with Whitaker, who's,
Dude, I mean, he's
number one
in
the middleweight division. He's number one because he's not champ.
Sure, yes. But so like he hung with Till, and then he just kind of had some not great showings.
Wait, so who did he fight right after Whitaker?
It
wasn't Brunson.
No, the Brunson fight was after.
No, I know it was after, but I don't remember if there was a fight in between for Till. I'm trying to remember.
I'm almost positive he lost before that Brunson fight.
That's something.
Hey! Sorry about that. Damn, he's just going crazy right now.
Probably mark the recording stage, but whatever.
It doesn't. We're not editing this shit out. It's like fucking 4 people that watching anyways. So, but yeah, I don't fucking know who Till was fighting before. But anyways, weird shit. I don't like the Hermanson matchup. I kind of feel like he's gonna get wrestle fucked. It's great that he's been training with Hamzat and all that.
I mean, it'll just be a good see. Also, Colby is totally going all in on this lawsuit against Masvidal.
He got fucked up. Did you see the picture that came out?
I'm looking at the picture right now, actually, and he didn't get fucked up. It looks like one of those things where I take from the image that he was like, look, and because everything in his face, he's got like that chipped tooth. He's got a little bit of redness on the right side.
He got roughed up a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, I took it more as like we're going all in. We're getting this guy. Like I think.
Of course.
Colby's
I mean, obviously he's
sticking
going to
it
do
to
that.
the Masvidal. I don't know. It was obvious. I think he probably should have just not said shit.
Why?
Well, not said shit, but just talk shit after and been like, yeah, he didn't even do anything and he jumped me with I don't know. It's just a weird thing.
I mean, it's perfectly in line with Colby's character.
It is in line with his character.
So
that is true. So I guess, yeah.
He's consistent.
You're right. What do we got next? I'm trying to think. I did love the whole Eddie Hearn. Eddie, how do you pronounce his last name?
Eddie Hearn?
Hearn, the promoter, boxing promoter.
Oh, I don't fucking know shit about boxing.
Basically, he was just, it was glorious. He was just shitting on Jake Paul, and he was like, "You're average," and that's a compliment. Because he was just it was so funny because he just completely because Jake was like, "What do you mean I'm average?" And he was like, "I just beat it 5 times." He's like, "Jake, he's not a boxer. He's not. And it was just so great hearing someone just tell him how it is and seeing him kind of be a bit flabbergasted by his responses. It was great. I enjoyed it. I mean, look, all Jake Paul haters will enjoy it. It was great. It was a great little segment.
Look, Jake knows the guys he's fighting because
I don't think he does.
No, he does because he's fighting these guys on purpose. There's a reason he's not fighting Anderson Silva.
That's right.
There's a reason he's fighting the carcass of Tyron Woodley twice. You know what I'm saying? He's not dumb. He knows if he gets in there with a real boxer, it's probably not. He was going to fight Tommy Fury. And look, like I said, I don't know shit about boxing. I have no idea.
Well, even Eddie Hearn said that he was an average boxer, that Tommy Fury is an average boxer. Like, that didn't mean
I don't know how good Tommy Fury is. But he's not fighting real boxers. I mean, look, go fight Anderson Silva. We talked about this last episode.
Yeah, I mean, if you really want to like take someone from MMA who's available.
Yeah, he's out there doing it right now.
He's out there doing it right now. So, yeah, he's available for you to do that if you want to do that.
Sauced up and all, so.
Yeah. Sean O'Malley finally is going to go and fight Pedro Munoz. So that's something that's a bit of a step up.
And then
so we got that to look forward to.
Do you want to talk about the weird Hamzat Nate thing where...
Yeah. Do you know what's funny is when we saw that because we're pretty big nerds, so like a lot of the leaks with like Marvel and stuff, it felt very in line, didn't it? Like the leaked scorecards, I was like oh my god, it was just funny seeing like the scorecards leak.
Well, yeah, explain what it was. We look at group chat or whatever.
Yeah, basically it was just they basically kind of already had like a poster made up of a bunch of names they were going to match up in the future. And someone screenshot it or someone took a picture of it, and it had Hamzat Nate, which there's a theory that a couple with the dots next to their names, those are the ones that aren't confirmed, and Nate Diaz's name did have a dot next to it. I guess Hamzat's already down, like he's probably signed. I don't necessarily know what that means, but Nate's still of the half of that fight. I guess he's the one to get confirmed.
We saw that picture yesterday, and I was like, that's stupid. Yeah. It's bullshit. And then Hamzat comes out today
and says "skinny boy"
tweeting to Nate Diaz talking shit, and I'm like, wait a second. And then you start to think a little bit more, and Nate's doing this thing where he's on the outs. And if the UFC is going to do anything, they're going to mistreat their fighters. They're like, all right, you want one more fight?
Here's Hamzat Chimaev.
Here's Hamzat, and he's going to call you out, by the way. So,
the only reason I'm also buying into it is because. With this whole Colby thing with George, it just seems like there's probably annoying. It seems like we're not gonna get much Colby over the next few months. So,
but go get smashed by Hamzat, please.
That's what I want. I wanted Hamzat to fight Colby, but it looks like we're probably not gonna get that. This
and by the way,
gonna take a little longer.
I hate the Nate Hamzat fights. The dumbest thing I've ever.
seen. I mean, it's obviously dumb. But I mean, then again, they're giving Leon a title shot based off of his fight on Nate Diaz. So I mean, it's their way of, I don't know, paving a path to the title through Nate Diaz for a second time. Well, I guess a third time, technically, with McGregor. So I guess technically you could say it third time.
I still hope we get that fight. Fuck Marty.
Oh, Conor Marty?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Will be craziest thing to have ever happened in MMA if Conor were to somehow miraculously beat Kamaru Usman. would literally blow everything up. It would be
left hand.
It would be actually the most insane thing.
Well, yeah,
ever
no, we were on a
happened.
whole tangent on it last week. It would just turn everything just upside down completely.
Oh, also I want to say Dan Hardy said something completely stupid. He said, because obviously people have known like the whole Conor, if he was going to come into a title shot, his chance was pretty high against Olives just because Olives has been, suspect chin-wise and, Conor's got the left hand. But Dan Hardy comes out and says McGregor has the skill set to beat Justin Gaethje, but not Charles Oliveira, which is actually hilarious to think that out of either of those matchups, you're going to favor Conor against Justin rather than Olives. I just think that's kind of crazy.
I see where he's coming from.
I don't see it at all. Like, I mean, obviously the glaring one is the leg kicks, but also he's got the chin, and he's also got the endurance, the dexterity. Charles is shown to be suspect chin, to not have the cleanest striking, and he's not like super great. He's not like a big leg kicker, and like Justin just seems like the exact opposite of a fight you want to give Conor to come back. I don't know. It was just a hot take in my opinion.
Well, like, funny enough, I think they're almost both kind of goodish matchups for Conor. But, like, honestly, I'd be more scared of Oliveira for Conor just because Oliveira's so slick with the subs, and I think he would catch him so easily. We'll get into it later once we get into the card. Let's get into last week's card. It was, obviously, there wasn't much going on past the main event. We were kind of, a little bit down on it from last week. But leading off, we'll start with the top. We had Font versus Vera. Pretty good fight. I was happy that Cheeto won, even though I had Font by decision. Who did you have?
I had Font.
You had Font by decision, so
decision.
So, what was your take coming out of this?
We already discussed it a little bit, but Vera's good, unfortunately.
Font. Oh yeah, Font missed weight. We didn't.
By 2 pounds.
Yeah.
Come on, bro.
It was kind of weird. I don't know. I guess he had a bad camp or something.
It's weird. What do we have next? The Arlovsky.
Arlovsky versus the fattest fucking dude I've ever seen
Jacob,
in my life.
Our co-host.
Deep cut. No, what was his name? Jace or
Jake?
Jake Collier. Didn't Arlovsky win by decision? I think.
I believe so. I had Arlovsky decision.
I had him as well. Then we had Feely Brito, Grant Dawson, Jared Gordon, Darren Elkins, Tristan Connolly. No one wants to fucking hear about these fights. I don't have a take because I didn't watch that shit. We were out at the club. So
spending our time wisely.
Way wisely. It was a way better time than we would have had watching. We actually did watch it because it was on here earlier.
Oh, yeah. Fuck, you're right.
But let's just get into like what we want to get into.
So UFC 274. Okay.
We're talking some UFC 274 up in this bitch. Best card we've had in a while. It's a pretty good card. It's not like a great card, but it's pretty good. There's a lot of good names on here, but unfortunately the good names are a part of this. I don't actually like them fighting each other. So that's kind of a whole L type thing, is Ryan's just fumbling it real hard with his headphones. Don't break them like you ripped the seat off of my toilet.
Yeah, I did do that.
UFC 274, most hype card we've had in a bit here. I'm excited. You're excited. We're just going to take it from the top like how we usually do.
And I will say this just because Gaethje is going to fight Oliveira. I do want to just give a shout out to Dana for giving us the Beneil fight to Islam.
But you hear Beneil's out till like September, and like, dude, I don't want Islam to even wait that long. That's kind of bullshit.
Yeah,
wait till fucking September, bro.
I agree that's whack.
Like, come on.
But I need Islam or a Dagestani wrestler.
Chandler
to
quick KO tonight. Turns around and fights Islam in a few weeks.
Okay.
Or not a few weeks.
That would be
a few months. Not in fucking September.
Yeah. Yeah, if you could fight him in like July.
Yeah, that'd be tight.
Yeah,
that's a good summer fight.
Maybe even August if this fight, because you know how Tony is sometimes.
Anyways, let's start it from the top. Leading off, we got Charles Oliveira versus Justin Gaethje. Ryan, who do you got?
So I'm behind on the scorecards, so my take's gonna be a bit hot today.
Yeah. By the way, this is the last week of the official scoring. We still don't have a punishment figured out. We're going to find that out. The good thing is barely anyone fucking keeps up with the show, so it really doesn't matter quite yet.
Yeah.
But anyways, we're having fun.
Yeah. It looks like it's going to be me doing something super embarrassing, though, so that'll be awesome. Not for me. But I've got Gaiji round 2 TKO. I believe Charles probably going to submit him, but if I'm going for a somewhat kind of a risky take, I'm definitely going to favor Gaiji if that's going to be my alternative pick. So I've got him round 2 TKO. If you're betting, I'd still bet Charlie
Really?
sub.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so Jacob is actually not dead. But anyways, he sent us our picks. Jacob has Oliveira by sub,
Yeah, I
which
saw
is, good pick, solid pick.
Yeah, safe pick.
I have Gaethje by KO because
Oh, whoa.
what?
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, no,
Wait, you had who?
I have Gaethje by KO.
Oh, I'm tripping.
I have
I
Gaethje by
thought you
KO.
just said, for some reason, I thought you said Oliveira KO.
No, I didn't.
I was, what?
So going into this fight, it's kind of funny because I think it's a bad and a good matchup for Charles Oliveira. Gaethje, we saw him in the Khabib fight, kind of can just get ran down upon and taken down
By Khabib.
by Khabib, obviously. I honestly wish Chandler would have used his wrestling a lot more in their fight. I think that would have been a really good
I
idea.
think Chandler probably went in there with probably not exactly the greatest. His coaches probably had a great game plan, but his idea was not to do that.
I mean, they were yelling at him in the corner.
Yeah.
But it's also like the worst matchup for Charlie Olives because Charlie in his last 2 fights has gotten clipped. Like he's gotten rocked. Dustin Poirier, Chandler. And Gaethje probably hits harder than both of those guys, honestly.
I don't think he hits harder than Chandler.
I mean, look, they're right next to each other, regardless.
For sure.
So I just think that is not good. Gaethje's been, Olives has been clipped a lot lately. I think he's going to get clipped again because Gaethje's just going to find his chin somehow. I think he's going to get flatlined.
Yeah, but if he does go in and dives for trying to finish and gets his legs wrapped, bro.
Well, yeah, that's another thing. I hope Gaethje doesn't just try and dive in for the finish.
Yeah,
If he does do that, because that's not a good idea.
Don't do it.
Charles is so fucking slick, man. But honestly, I do like the round 2 pick, KO. I think that's a good pick. I like that pick a lot because I can just envision when this fight happens that is totally going to go down for sure.
I also did have Hamza TKO round 2 for Gilbert, though.
Dude,
so.
when that first round ended versus Gilbert, I was
and
like,
Gilbert was on the ground.
I was like,
it was
holy
like,
shit, dude. He might have fucking
I started
called
being
this
like,
shit.
But then, Gilbert just turned into a fucking demon. Demon time, just started bringing it.
Yeah. But either way, this is a super fun fight. I want Charles Oliveira to win.
Yes.
Because I want Islam Makhachev to fight Charles Oliveira. And I feel like if Islam Makhachev has to fight Justin Gaethje for the title again, he's just going to walk right through him just like Khabib did. And it's going to be tough because we have the whole thing, and the Dagestanis always seem to get the easiest matchups, and Charles Oliveira would be a tremendous matchup for Islam, I think, personally.
It would just be entertaining because
So
if he beat Olives,
Sure.
fuck yeah, Islam?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, now rematch Saryukin.
Yeah. Greatest grappling matchup, part
Dude,
2.
best grappling matchup in all of UFC history. I don't even think it's close.
So we got Rose versus Carla next. I've got Carla by decision. Again, this is another risky take.
Risky. It's risky, but it's not bad.
It's
Title
not
fight,
bad,
5
but
rounds.
I know that you guys weren't going to pick that, so
That is true. Jacob has Namajunas by decision, another good pick. I have Rose by TKO because man, Rose just has that flair for the dramatic. I feel like whether it's winning or losing, sometimes I just feel like she's always got an exciting finish. And I think she's gonna crack a spar
one of the
zone.
greatest example is her versus Whaley, the second one.
Oh yeah, yeah, that one, right? But when she got slammed on her fucking head by Andrade and cured her neck problems, that was
Yeah, that's always hilarious to hear about.
Okay,
It's like, thanks, Andrade.
that's kind of cool. But I got Rose by TKO. I think she's gonna flatline her. I'm kind of just like, a decision from both you guys is obviously kind of the smart pick.
Yeah. As far as the winning, it's also super lame, but
Super lame because I kind of don't give a fuck about Carla Esparza. She's kind of boring.
No, she's definitely a more boring fighter.
For sure.
But then we got Chandler Ferguson.
So this one we can, talk about for a while almost. I absolutely hate this fight.
I loathe this matchup so much. It's kind of crazy because I am a huge, and Connor is as well. We are big Michael Chandler fans. Love Michael Chandler. We also love Tony Ferguson.
So big Tony Ferguson guy.
Big Tony Ferguson guys. And what sucks is I want Tony to win so bad, like just to win a fight, not this fight specifically. Mm-hmm. I want Tony to win so bad, but I also want Chandler to win a fight so fucking bad.
Yes,
and this is fucking trash. Yes. I hate that this fight is happening.
Yeah,
but
so
I get why
so this is basically the worst thing ever because I don't want to see Tony Ferguson lose to another fucking top 5 lightweight and just get the fuck beat out of him, and if it's even like a competitive fight or God forbid Chandler loses, that's even worse.
Yeah, because it's like then now what? Tony's going up and going to fight another demon?
They're going to give him Islam or something.
Yeah, and it's like I don't care to see Tony do that. I want Tony to best case scenario for Tony for me is if Tony somehow beats Chandler, he gets the Conor fight. And then we get red penny night for Ferguson, and then that's cool. And I'm super happy for Ferguson. I guess you could kind of say the same thing for Chandler. If Chandler wins, I either give him Islam or give him Conor. But I just loathe this matchup so much.
What's your pick for this fight? What's your pick?
So I really wanted to say Ferguson because I knew you guys wouldn't say Ferguson.
Yeah.
But I think one of the safer things I can it's probably not a great pick, but I've got Chandler TKO round 2.
Okay, so so you got 2 round 2 KOs.
This will be 3 times I've had round 2.
That's 2 of the top 3 fights, both having second round KOs.
So unfortunately, the reasoning for my TKO round 2 is I'm really sad to say this, and I feel like a dick saying this, but I can see we seeing prime Tony round 1, and then him getting hit hard at some point in that round.
Uh-huh.
And I can see round 2, Chandler lining up an absolute god truck of a fucking punch.
Well, yeah, no, that sort of goes into my take. Jacob had Chandler by KO because, smart pick. On the other hand, I have Chandler by decision.
That's actually kind of crazy to me.
That's crazy.
If anything, I would have had Tony by decision.
Really?
Yeah.
My line of thought going into this is that Tony is not the easiest man to finish. His last finish he had was Justin Gaethje in the 5th round, by the way.
I agree. But the reason I have the TKO is I think this is like deteriorating. I don't want to believe that.
So far we have yet to see him like really get finished early like that. Tony obviously does get rocked a lot, but his last 2 fights didn't get finished. Both went to a decision with Olives and then Beneil. He lost in round 5 to Gaethje. Obviously, Chandler can fucking crack. He can crack hard. If you've been watching the embeddeds, Tony's been like doing a wrestling heavy camp, which has been kind of interesting to me. Tony's Tony hasn't had a takedown in like 10 years. So that's interesting. I wonder how that's going to look coming from Ferguson because that's just not,
Yeah, well, I think his philosophy is he's really trying to change his looks. And one of the big things to him was the mystique and the
he's probably still going to have good cardio, which also goes into my take. So I just, I could just see this playing out where it goes all 3 rounds, but Chandler kind of just beats the fuck out of him. But
Chandler's also just to kind of say this because it could happen. Chandler sometimes, not always. We saw him go to fucking war with Gaiji.
His whole UFC run has been tremendous.
Yeah, had a great time through and through.
Yeah,
but he sometimes he catches a left hook out of the pocket, i.e. Oliveira, and Ferguson is Ferguson, so you never
Ferguson's
know.
Ferguson, but I can't tell you the last time Tony's cracked someone.
I agree.
Pettis, Cowboy, I don't know. But either way, I got Chandler decision because I knew Jacob was gonna do. I just didn't see Jacob picking this, and I knew you weren't gonna pick it either. But I wanted to get some solid points out of this because I still want to do good. So I was like, you know what? I see Chandler decision happening. Jot that one down. I fucking hate this fight. I wish they didn't do it. Like, have these guys fight fucking literally anyone else.
Make you sad.
Make me sad.
It sucks.
If Chandler loses, that's bad. That sucks. I don't want Chandler to fucking lose this fight.
No, I don't want.
And I don't want to see Tony Ferguson get the shit beat out of him either.
Yeah, L fight. L matchmaking.
Yeah, L fight, L matchmaking. It's tough. It's tough out here.
So, how do you pronounce Vince Saint Pro?
Yeah, OSP, Oven St. Preux.
Pro. I've got him by TKO.
Okay, so yes, I also I have OSP by KO. He's fighting Old Man Shogun, which is tough. Shogun hasn't fought in 2 years. He got knocked out by OSP like 5 years ago in like 35 seconds. It was like a whole thing. Jacob has OSP by KO in round 1 actually. So that's his big round fight for that night. Yeah, obviously. You I don't think you could feasibly pick Shogun going into this, even though I know OSP has a flair for letting people down and losing.
Yeah.
But I just don't see it happening. Shogun's 400 years old. I mean, we were watching Pride and Pride Final Conflict 05 when he was he was good. That was like literally almost 20 years ago now.
Oh
17.
My God, 17 years. Jesus. Yeah.
So shout out to OSP. He's probably gonna crack Shogun. I don't just fucking retire. Go flip burgers with Glover.
We got Donald Cerrone. Cerrone's comeback fight.
Cowboy
probably.
versus Lozon. Dana had a funny comment. He was like, "Yeah, whoever loses this one is probably gonna ride off into the sunset." And knowing both these guys, they're probably neither of them are gonna retire.
I hope Cerrone wins and kind of leaves, lives his life, does his adrenaline junkie shit he does. So you can keep doing that. Just So I've got Cerrone decision.
I have Cowboy by KO because I was looking at Lozon's record and he was recently KO'd in round 1 by fucking Clay Guida. And I was like, okay, well, Cowboy can still hit hard, I guess. I guess.
We'll see.
So I got Cowboy by KO. Let me see what Jacob's pick was. He had Cowboy by decision, so we all have Cowboy. Kind of tough for you there. These last two fights we talked about for you is kind of tough because the winners are kind of so obvious because you'd be stupid to take Shogun. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You can't even feasibly do that.
So
now we have the 2 prelims, which is where you can hopefully try and put in.
No, my work is already done. I've got the 2 rounds. And
you're not going to go any more
yours. Neither of them are yours. So if I bank both, that's 10 points, and I'll actually beat you guys by like 4 or 5. So I only need
if the 2 of the top 3 fights in this card both end by second round KO, in which you called both of them. That I just
over.
have to give it up to you. At that, that's some toilet Nostradamus shit right there. So.
Yeah.
Who's your prelim fight?
I have a Chaos Williams
versus Randy Brown.
Yep.
You have Chaos Williams by TKO.
Yep.
So
and
I have Chaos Williams by first round TKO. I was looking at his fight history. He's like 14-2. He's pretty good. Like all of his finishes are in the first round. So I was like, fucking sign me up. That's my guy. Jacob had Dumont by decision in the Dumont-Chiasson fight, which is also the other prelim fight that I had picked because it's like women's flyweight, I believe. So I had Dumont by decision just as Jacob did because prelim women's featherweight decision finish. You can't go wrong with that pick.
Also, shout out to Ortega. I've got Tracy Cortez by decision.
Isn't that his girlfriend?
Yeah. I've got Cortez by decision. Prelim 125. Give it to me. You know how it is. Yeah, the
women's prelims fights going to a decision is almost a near lock. There's got to be some DraftKings shit on that or something. Jacob's second prelim fight he had Paulo Filho versus Van Camp, and he has Fiallo by KO. So don't really. I know Paulo Filho. Dude, there's this fucking guy at my gym at Clubworks that looks like a skinny Paulo Costa. I don't know if you remember him. But I saw him in there today, and I was laughing. I was trying to take a picture of him to send it to you guys, but it was too hard. Because he looked like a skinny Paulo Costa. I was fucking dying, dude. Oh, it was so funny.
So Tony Ferguson, I don't know if any of you guys were watching the his press conference, and he was talking about Dana White. They asked him about the Dana White privilege again, and he was like, hey. I don't find that to be that funny, and I don't think you guys should either. Like, you guys know, anytime you tell someone to think that something's not funny, it's then funny.
Of course. And look, Tony's a fucking weird guy, and that's kind of his whole shtick. But he's legitimately a weird person, so you kind, you know.
Yeah.
You know, he literally told like a UFC heavyweight grappling go that he would ankle pick him.
That he would ankle pick him. And have fun fighting on my undercard.
And then he did it. Then he literally fought on his undercard. So I'll give Tony that. But yeah, Dana White privilege. Chandler was kind of being funny with it. He was like, "Yeah, I have that shit.
Yeah, I am Dana White's favorite fighter." It's like, okay,
like, you know what? Sure.
At least go in. Yeah,
exactly.
If you're Michael
that's kind
Chandler,
of that's
it's a layup.
kind of the only response you have to that.
Kayla gave me another reason to hate. She was talking about how she, was about to sign on the dotted line for Cyborg. Shut up.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a great take. Shut up.
It's like, it's so funny. It is so funny, and because like a lot of the times, I do understand why a lot of MMA. People will shit on people who just shit on other fighters because it's like, you wouldn't last in the ring with it. No shit.
Obviously, that's why I'm sitting here talking about it.
Yeah, it's like I also wouldn't be going in here and scoring 40 points on fucking Klay Thompson or any NBA player known to mankind. Yeah, you can still talk about someone's performance. It's like, shut.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And fighters always get so offended by it too. And it's just like,
yeah,
relax.
Yeah.
Like people talk about the thing that you do. You're a famous person, so that's how this works.
Well, it's like the whole Johnny Walker thing when he's getting all these crazy KOs, and it's like, hey, that's not nice. You shouldn't make fun of me.
Yeah. It's like, look, bro, like that's what you
Expect
signed up.
that.
That's what you signed up for,
what's
dog.
gonna happen?
Like, you know that when you get in front of camera and you're doing something where you can potentially get knocked out.
Or anything embarrassing.
Yeah, anything.
It's like that's
anything
gonna
embarrassing.
get
like you're gonna get memed. You're gonna get memed.
And I'm sorry, but I mean that's just how it is. Also, I find it just completely on brand that Dana White said that he finds crossover fights to be fucking stupid. And I'm all
those
in
pussy ass boxers don't have to work 2 jobs like my guys do.
Yeah,
they're
they
not
don't
out
know
here.
what it's
They're
like for
not.
discipline.
They're not out here grinding like my guys over here are, bagging groceries on their off days.
What's funny is that then he was like, boxers are overpaid, and it's like, Dana, bro, please stop. Look. I understand, obviously, from a business model, I assume probably the UFC as a business is far more sustainable than any organization boxing has just going into the future. It's definitely set up. There is a reason they do underpay him. It's not a good reason, but it definitely does sustain the business model.
It doesn't sustain the business model. They just want more money.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I'm just saying, the business at least isn't
every
struggling.
other like professional sports league, at least in North America, is 50-50. That's the whole thing. You know why? Because there's player unions, and that's how that shit works.
Yeah.
Fighters are getting royally fucked over
for sure
every time, and it's absolutely insane that they don't get paid more. Anderson Silva was talking about how when he boxed Julio Cesar Chavez, they got paid more than his last 3 UFC fights combined. That's unreal. That's Anderson Silva we're talking about. So it's like they're not even treating their guys well either. On the outs. And it's so frustrating because we talk about this all the time. It's holding the sport back hard as fuck. I can't believe there's not a union yet.
Well, I mean, I can.
It's can,
really
but it's
hard
like
to
how
get it to happen. Because you don't want to fight. Okay, don't fight. We'll get someone else who's willing to fight for fucking dirt.
But it's like all these fucking champs in the UFC are not making dick beside maybe Izzy, after his new contract. And even then, they're not even making that much. They're getting
Izzy's like $2 million, right?
I know he signed that new contract.
Ridiculous.
Yeah, like $2 million. It's funny, 'cause, like $2 million is cheap for Israel Adesanya. Like he's a star. I should be making like $10 million a fight.
There was the rumor flying around that Ngannou got offered I think $10 million, or something like that per fight, and he turned it down because he wanted the boxing fight with Fury. And I'm so in for Fury fighting Ngannou. Not because I think Ngannou stands a chance, just as a fuck you to Dana White and the UFC. It's like, yeah, because you guys don't want this so bad, and you don't want Ngannou, who fucking deserves it.
Dude, he's
a
killer.
To get his fucking
he's a killer.
worth, I want that fight to happen.
He's a killer with like the coolest
backstory.
backstory, and is a genuinely nice guy. And Dana fucking hates him.
Yeah, well, just because he's telling how it is, and he hates when fighters do that,
It's
exposing the business model.
Yeah. It's like fighters get like fucking 10%. It's wild.
It's so bad, and like,
they're getting royally fucked over on the stupid fucking Venom deal.
Well, we talk about this a lot, but obviously, if you get rid of that horrible deal that they call the Venom deal and that they call the Reebok deal, a lot of these problems wouldn't even be here if you could add fucking sponsors on their shorts. It's crazy how much more money they would make. And that's not even coming out of your pocket. And you're not even making that much from Venom.
That's another thing.
Why can't you just sacrifice that? You're not making that much more and give fighters sponsorships.
And it looks
you don't have
so
to sweat
much
all
fucking
this fighter
cooler.
pay. It looks so much cooler if you got a fighter with a Gatorade sponsor on the back,
John
like
Jones with the Nike logo and the Gatorade logo on his shorts is like the coolest fucking thing ever.
Yeah, it's so cool. I don't understand why it's such a problem.
Because UFC wants to make more money.
But that's
themselves.
my point. You can't be possibly making that much more money unless there's just a bunch of under-the-table deals with Venom and with Reebok. I just don't get it.
Yeah, because I don't even know what the Venom deal is. How much are they making a year on that?
That's my point. I don't get it. It is funny. You'll see the Dan Hooker fight that heavyweight that goes around. And he's like wearing the Venom pants. I always find that funny because I'm like, holy shit, Venom's been a fucking crappy short brand for a minute now.
Yeah, no, because Venom was one of the old sponsorships you'd see on shorts and shit.
Yeah.
And by the way, who the fuck wears Venom? I've never seen a person in my goddamn life wear Venom. Second to only Reebok. Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. Chill, Reebok. You're Zig Tech.
Yeah.
It's like, God.
They peaked with Zig Techs 12 years ago and just haven't come close.
Yeah, they're practically Puma at this point.
Dude, I see way more people wearing Puma than fucking Reebok.
Yeah, that's probably true. But
and me out there with my Venom gear. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, let me go get a sick lift in with my Venom gear. Yeah, it's annoying.
It's an L.
Yeah, I mean, it's just annoying, and fighters just don't get paid, and we get the Venom deal. So.
Lamest fucking thing ever. And it, maybe at least make cool merch, but no, they don't. They make They look like early day Reebok, which was awful. That's why it's funny to go back and watch like Conor versus Eddie, and they're both wearing lame ass Reebok shorts. It's just like, ugh.
I'm cool with the Conor ones just because
the Conor ones in that Eddie fight, they were both wearing white and black. It was boring.
I don't know. I feel like for a fight of that magnitude, it was all right because it kind of made it seem more official.
No, I hate that. Because that's what UFC likes to say, too, with those ad deals where it's like, oh, it makes us look more uniform and shit like that. Now they don't let fighters walk out with flags and shit. They're just taking away, the person that, it's whack.
Yeah, and they also have, no sort of promotion as to into the fight. There's no walkout. There's zero shit there.
Zero presentation. Because they try so hard to not be pro wrestling that they go opposite of the way of entertainment. And it's like, well, you guys are still in front of a crowd and trying to sell pay-per-views. It's still the business model. Selling tickets here.
Yeah, but they just have a lot of hard stances in weird ass areas, and I just don't
they go
get it.
so hardo mode on the most specific things. It's the most annoying thing ever.
It's definitely the most annoying thing ever. That's what we got going on.
And even then,
this week.
they'll be hardo on that shit, but they'll still fucking turn around. Like Dana and the whole women will never fight in the UFC. It's just like, well,
you'll see.
Yeah,
you'll see. For some reason the thought popped up that I think Cyborg said something about Kayla being the next Ronda Rousey. It's like, okay. No, Kayla was also saying that she thought she was going to be the next Rousey because if she could get promoted, and I can't wait to go to the UFC. Go to the UFC.
Dude, I don't know if there's really
ever going to be
another Ronda because people like to forget, bro. People like to forget how big Ronda was there for a second. I mean, that chick was doing Ellen, fucking she was on
she was on
every late night TV show. She was doing movies. She did fucking Roadhouse or whatever. She was in the Expendables. Now she's in the WWE. She was popping. She was McGregor before McGregor.
Yeah.
I mean, she was the most popular person in the UFC. I don't see that happening again.
No, I mean,
she had that mystique, and it was kind of early in women's fighting, so she was just kind of armbarring bitches, and then obviously we know the story, Edmund.
Yeah.
But anyway, I don't see anyone coming close to Ronda again.
No. I just, I love taking every chance I get to, talk shit about Kayla.
Yeah, no, Kayla sucks, dude. I want to. I don't know if
she
her.
sucks. Like that's not what I want to say.
I want to like Kayla Harrison. I really do, but she manages to put her foot in her mouth every time she talks. It's really annoying.
Yeah, I hate her takes on how I get annoyed when when people outside of the UFC keep demanding that we can transparently see that they are the best when everyone in the world knows the best talent is in the U. There's
not even an argument. No one even tries and acts like it except Scott Coker. Yeah, and that's it.
And shout out to whatever Bleed Green fake account that roams the social media users that always roots for Bellator.
Yeah.
You'll see that guy every now and then with Jason Tatum as his profile picture. Y'all see him. He's out there roaming.
The fucking fake Bellator account.
Dude, Holy it's crazy. It's like everyone in the UFC just hates to admit that Bellator's doing it better.
Yeah, Mousasi versus Izzy and Whitaker at the same time.
God, yeah. something like that.
We've hit about 40 minutes. It's been a shorter episode so far. You got any like closing hot takes for the friends and family out there?
I'm trying to think of a hot take I can give y'all. I think that George is an actual idiot.
Oh, that's real hot
for going in and the whole problem I have with this whole Colby George thing is that George pulls up with this like mystique. He's got the mask, he's got the ski mask, he's got the mask. And all his buddies got the same thing. They go to jump him. And, okay, that kind of makes sense if you obviously got beef with this guy. You don't want to get caught. But then he immediately goes and exposes himself. He's like, hey, Colby, hey, that was me. It's like, okay, you fucking dumbass. So none of this worked. Now you're just an asshole. And now Colby gets to sue you. And now Colby's fans get exactly what they want.
Yeah.
And you gain no sort of publicity for doing
like,
what you did.
George, you somehow played into the most obvious fucking like hand possible.
Yeah, it's
came
crazy.
Out of it looking like the biggest dumbass and sore loser.
It's so I wouldn't say sore loser because like
you had 25 minutes to fucking go whoop his ass and you couldn't. So
that's true. That is true.
Shut up.
But I the reason I say not sore loser, I just think it obviously transcends the fight. I think they obviously hate each other.
He's a dumbass.
Yeah, he's not a smart individual. It was definitely not super necessary. So. No. That's all I got to say about that. I'm trying to think of another hot take, but I don't have anything on me right now. You got any hot takes for yourself?
If Ngannou doesn't come back, UFC heavyweight's in shambles. They're doing Tuivasa versus Gon, and that's just like, ugh. So, I don't know. I'm just not into the heavyweights right now.
I'm into the heavyweights.
I think talent's at like an all-time low. Which is not really a hot take at all, but yeah.
That is interesting. I'm still all in if Ngannou's still around. So,
yeah, me too. But I don't know. He's doing his thing. Anyways, that kind of wraps up today's episode.
Yeah, got a shorter episode. Lack of a co-host. We're just trying to make it work.
Yeah, we got the fights and all that, the good stuff. For the folks listening out there.
Yeah, all the
look,
folks
dude.
If
you made it fucking this far, shout out to you, man.
Yeah, for real,
dude. It's so funny. I've said this on here before, but doing this makes me feel like a fucking celebrity on CCP. There's like comments and shit and feedback.
Well, I think it's like, I'll also say this is I imagine the conspiracy communities probably when they find you. They're probably like pretty.
I mean, look, we've just been doing it more for a while over there, and there's just people that we have at least we'll have like 200 people that'll like listen every week usually, at least for downloads and shit like that. So there's something. It's just hard with this because it's like, man, we're like building off like nothing, and you have to get like almost like real fans first. Yeah. Like we have a few guys over there, like they listen to every fucking episode, like the hardcores.
Dan Hooker's going to lightweight. Calling out RDA. He's coming off 2 wins. Like, Hooker, bro, you just lost. Like,
I don't know. I don't hate it.
Unrealistic. Don't care. Didn't ask.
Plus, you're white. So, anyways, we love you guys. Big kisses.
Mwah.
Jacob will be back next week.
Maybe.
Maybe. That Pitbull thing, kind of crazy.
Yeah.